Hey guys, today on Rich with Cars, I bring you 2019 BMW M850i 1 of 400 in Frozen Barcelona Blue. I'm gonna bring you guys a quick review of this BMW 8 Series as is a special edition that came out only in 2019 and they only made 400 units of. I'm gonna do a quick tour of the exterior, interior, bit of the cargo volume, engine, and driving impression. So let's strap in, take a look. This BMW M850i in X Drive came out in 2019. BMW came out with this as a special edition, and they called it the first edition because they actually came out with a special paint color called the Frozen Barcelona Blue Metallic. I'm not a huge fan of it per se, but it's a very, very nice blue color. It's sort of like a baby blue that is actually matte or satin. Alongside with some of the other things that came with this particular edition, which is called the first edition Frozen Barcelona Blue, it's 1 of 400, and they also included the high shadow gloss black trim that goes around the window and the front grille as well. It also includes these Y-spoke 20-inch wheels, and it came with black tailpipes as well. Starting with the exterior, BMW 8 Series is actually quite nice. A lot of people compare the side view profile to a Ford Mustang just because of that sort of fastback profile that it has. I really like the 8 Series quite a bit. As you guys probably know, it's the successor to the BMW 6 Series. I believe it is a little bit bigger, but they made some nice modern changes to it. Moving forward, we have this massive BMW kidney grille. I love the way that they did this kidney grille as opposed to some of the other BMW models, where they actually make the grille be very tall and not as wide, whereas in this one they actually made it slimmer and wider as well. I really like it, and the way that the actual kidney grille itself is actually connected here in the middle. They're not actually separate. You have some additional air venting here at the bottom with some additional cooling and some air curtains for aerodynamic, as well as some additional venting for cooling of the brakes. You have the radar sensor over there, and I like how they just integrated that all the way at the bottom. And here in the grille, if you guys have noticed, it's got active vents. So right now they're closed, but during spirited driving or when the engine needs additional cooling, the vents actually open up and allow air to come into the engine bay. Apologies for my shadow, but if we look here onto the hood, we see some nice character lines. We have some double character lines that basically run from the middle side of the hood, and then you have another one over here that runs on the outside portion of the hood over there. Pretty nice. Of course, I would prefer an M8, but regardless, this is a very nicely designed vehicle. The other thing that this car has are BMW's laser lights. I've never actually had the opportunity to drive with them at night to see how good they are, but based on my readings, it seems like it's a very highly efficient lighting system for the headlights. Moving on to the side here, this special edition actually comes with these Y-spoke black rims in 20-inch. I actually like them quite a bit. You have some M badging over there because it is an M850i. It's an M package, it's not an M car. So you have these wheels in the front that are 20-inch, and they're actually wrapped in 245s in the front, and they're wrapped in 275s in the rear, also remaining 20-inch. Optional packages for this include carbon fiber exterior trim, which this one does not have. Typically the carbon fiber trim would come here on the side view mirrors, also on the front, and a little bit in the rear diffuser, but it doesn't matter because in this particular case it's actually wrapped in this beautiful Frozen Blue Metallic color. It's very rare. Like I said before, it's 1 of 400. So as we move a little bit further towards the side, we have these side vents over here. I am not sure if they're functional, and based on my quick investigation, I don't see any openings here on the inside of the wheel well, so that leads me to believe that these are not functional. So it's just cosmetic, but it still looks very nice. I do like the simplistic design of the character lines on the side of the car. You have this one over here that runs to the middle of the side, and then you have another one that basically runs from the beginning over here all the way to the rear over there, and basically runs towards the rear window. And then you have another one that basically starts here to accentuate the rear haunches. The other notable thing, which I really like a lot, kind of like the LC500, you have this carbon fiber roof panel over here. So you have no sunroof, but it adds to lowering of the center of gravity. And let's just take a look at it quickly from the front, and you'll see it's got that double bubble type of design aspect, which a lot of M vehicles now have as well. And then moving further behind, I really love how BMW ended up doing the taillights. I think I still prefer the taillights on some other vehicles like the LC500, but still these are very, very nice, sporty looking. They're basically very slim and sporty looking, and they really fit well with the overall design of the car. I like how they actually just wrap around the rear fender as well. Gives a very commanding look. And then moving towards the rear, we'll see the badging here for M850, and we see these exhaust outlets, very similar to the LC500 in that you have real exhausts inside, as you can see, but they're actually housed in a rectangular shape as well. You have some fake grills over here. Not crazy about that, but it is what it is. And this also right here is fake as well. I think they should have done something else with that. They could have actually put the reflectors over there as a way to actually integrate them more seamlessly. And then the overall look on the rear of the car, it's got a very, very nice wide stance in the rear. And then also you have this really, really nice seamless lip spoiler in the rear. Take a look at the double bubble from the rear as well. Very nice. So as we head towards the interior, as you guys can see, I have the keys in my pocket. And this has, of course, hands-free access. So, as always, we'll start off with the door cards and then make our way towards the interior. Starting off over here, we see the side sill over here that is in brushed aluminum. This actually lights up at night, so it makes it look very, very nice and luxurious. You can see here, carbon core. As anything, we have the carbon core, which is now used in multiple BMWs, including the 7 Series, 8 Series, and other models as well. So starting towards the door cards, we have, I believe this is the extended merino leather, which comes with the Frozen Barcelona Blue Metallic first edition, as you guys can see over there. So we have leather basically that goes all the way down to the bottom, which is really, really nice. It gives it a very luxurious feel. So we have leather here on the top, and I believe it's a dark blue. So the dark blue over here is a special color that comes with this first edition Frozen Barcelona Blue Metallic. And then we have, I believe it's sort of like a white leather with some blue stitching. Really, really nice. I love how they use the contrast stitching over here. They have the blue stitching over there, and then you have the contrast white stitching on the blue leather itself. You have some aluminum trim over here going alongside the memory settings, lock and unlock buttons. You have your door release, which is a manual door release. We have a Bowers and Wilkins sound system, and then you have your door handle with your window switches, and then your mirror controls as well. A little bit of storage space over here, but it doesn't even allow you to put, I believe, maybe a water bottle that's 500 mLs, but not that much aside from that. And then you have your trunk release button over there. Onto the seats. We have these seats that basically, like I said, come with the first edition Frozen Barcelona Blue Metallic. So we have a mix of dark blue with a white leather. There's no other materials like Alcantara on the seats. Gives a very sort of luxurious feel. I believe this is merino leather. The seats themselves have a very nice design. I like how they have these little design cues on the middle portion of the seat itself with some nice contrasting blue piping that goes along the middle. I like how they actually integrated the headrest. And then we have your seat controls over here, a number of seat controls as well. I believe it's 18-way power. Then we go here towards your footwell, where you have the footrest, brake pedal, and gas pedal all in aluminum as well. And then we have here all your light controls. So we don't have your typical sort of like rotary knob or even like a dial, for example, but we just have buttons here for the light controls. And then we have your tilt and telescoping control, which is electronic. So inside now, first things first that I noticed getting inside, we have soft closed doors. Take a look. Pretty nice. Steering wheel generally pretty nice, I guess. You know, it's a circular steering wheel with some nice heavy thickness over here for more spirited driving. You have some aluminum here in the middle, and then all your controls for some cruise control. You have your phone voice controls as well, and then you have some other media functions as well. You have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and then you have your different steering wheel stalks for your turn signals and your wipers as well. You do have a heads-up display. I don't know if you can see it. So you do have a HUD over here as well, and then you have your digital gauge cluster over here, which I believe BMW also updated recently a little bit in terms of the graphics, but generally it's very informational because you do have your GPS in the middle, and then you have a bunch of other information as well. One thing I noticed here about the gauge cluster is that when you change the different drive modes, like in Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, your gauge cluster actually changes slightly. It doesn't change too much, it just changes some colors, as you can see when I'm changing it. I know that you can also change some of the settings over there to change some of the things in terms of how you actually view the gauge cluster. I don't know if I would prefer it over the LC500. It does have a little bit more functionality because you do have your GPS there as well. So you know, it really is dependent on the driver and what their preferences are in terms of what they see over here. But it's still pretty nice. It's a full digital cluster. So moving towards the middle over here, you guys see the layout. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of it. We have a lot of buttons here. Most of the buttons are all related to the HVAC system. The good thing though, compared to other systems that are mostly digital, you do have physical buttons that allow you to get to your preferred functionality almost immediately. So like you have here your heated and cooled seats. You have other things as well, like changing your modes and things like that. And then moving a little bit further below, you have your media controls as well, your basic media controls. And then as you guys do see over here, this is the first edition, one of 400. So you won't see this car in a lot of places because they made 400 for the entire world. So depending on where you live, you might not see one at all. You might see maybe one or two. So that's a very cool thing about this car, is that it's rare in its color and some of its options. So as I'm here, you have some cup holders. There's just a storage compartment. And then here, something cool that comes with this particular model, but it's also optional on other 8 series. You have a Swarovski crystal shifter and iDrive knob as well. Very, very cool. And then you have a whole bunch of buttons over here that is covered in piano black and some glass as well. These are some of your other controls, like traction control. You have your camera mode over here, which you can see over there. And you have different camera options as well. You do have different camera views as well. One definite plus that this has over the LC is that it's got multiple cameras. Camera image is pretty clear. You have a whole bunch of other functions over here, like your drive modes. And then you have auto hold, your parking brake, and then these are some of your main menu functions as well. Getting to the iDrive infotainment system, it's very, very advanced. This is not the latest from BMW, but in this version it's pretty nice. You have a whole bunch of different functionalities as well that you can do with the vehicle. I'm not gonna get into the different functions, but you can see that there's a whole bunch of different stuff. And then also, like you notice here, you can change how the layout of your home screen looks like as well, which gives you a little bit of adaptability in terms of how you want the home screen to look like, which is pretty cool. Here towards the middle, you have some storage space over here with USB-C plug over there. I like the way that this opens up. It gives access to both the driver and the passenger. Whereas in other cars like the LC, for example, once you open it, it only opens to the side of the driver, which is a little bit inconvenient, to be honest. And then you have other things here as well. This basically shows the car's safety system in full mode. That's why you have this green circle over here, your hazard lights, and then your little screen for your HVAC control system as well. Everything here on the dash is all leather, which is really nice. And then if you look a little bit further up, I like how they actually integrated the roof liner in Alcantara as well. Very spacious. And then you have the driver's side door card with a little bit of extra storage here on the glove compartment as well. This car is a 2+2, so you do have a bit of rear seating space, I would say it's probably a little bit more spacious perhaps than the LC, but it's still quite cramped there in the rear for being such a large car. This is a GT touring car, so you do have some additional space in the rear. It's not just a two-seater. So looking over the engine here, this M850i has your typical engine that comes with a lot of the 8 Series. It's basically a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It pushes 523 horsepower and 553 pounds per foot of torque. Of course, I'm gonna put the numbers, but it is a very, very potent engine. It's quite solid. The same basis of this engine is used on the M8 as well. So, I mean, it does actually push, and it does have quite a bit of torque as well. And I believe the 0 to 60 on this, since it is an all-wheel drive car, probably I think is in the high 3s or mid 3s. And then you have a bit of bracing over here. Yeah, all in all, I mean, BMW is known for their engine, so pretty solid engine, to be honest. So driving impressions on the M850i X Drive. As I presumed, it is quite powerful. That twin turbo V8 4.4 liter engine definitely hauls ass. It's got a nice exhaust clip, as you can hear. So pretty nice. In terms of comfort, so before the comfort, that was a very, very quick acceleration, just to show you guys this thing really picks up quite quickly, to be honest. Definitely much faster than an LC500. It falls in the same class and is a direct competitor, but there's no comparison just because they're similar weights. I believe this one is about 4,400 pounds in terms of curb weight, but this does have a much more powerful engine. It's a twin turbo V8 and much more torquey. So in terms of the pickup, it's definitely quicker. And let's not forget, this is an all-wheel drive car. It does feel quite comfortable. The suspension is quite plush. I don't know how this is on back roads if you actually take it on spirited driving, but it does feel quite comfortable during the drive. It does soak up the bumps quite well as well. I'll give you guys a quick exhaust clip to let you guys hear how this M850i sounds. Pretty throaty. That's very, very nice, and it's got a nice little rumble on idle. So looking to the cargo volume, this M850i X Drive, similar to all the other ones as well, and apologies for the messy trunk, but you can see over here it's quite spacious. The other really cool thing that you can do as well, you do have a large opening, but getting back, the cool thing is that, as you can see over here, you can actually fold down the rear seats. So I just pushed it, and then you have that, a pass-through. So like I said before, you do have the ability of actually folding down the rear seats, and it gives you additional storage space as well. The other really cool thing is that, like I said, you have a wide opening, so it allows you for easy loading. And then finally, you do have automatic close. Very cool. Well guys, I just hope you enjoyed this quick review of this first edition BMW M850i in Barcelona Blue Metallic. Please reach out with any questions on the comments below. Make sure to subscribe. I have to thank the owner for allowing me to review this car. So once again, hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.